And hey, throughout the day, we'll be dropping exclusive new game trailers and let you know what games are coming to Game Pass. When will we tell you about a game dropping on Game Pass? It's a very good question, right? So, we'll put a timer.
Καλησπέρα σε όλους. Πάμε να δούμε μαζί το idea Xbox.
Okay? Wow, it's already 7 minutes and 49 seconds. That's how quickly it happens, okay?
So specific.
Well, you know,
Να δούμε τι θα παρουσιάσουν μέχρι το βράδυ της μέχρι το βράδυ στις 9 και 4 που θα μπούμε και στην εκπομπή και θα τα δούμε όλοι μαζί.
Yeah, we're on a countdown the entire time, and want to make sure that everyone knows we see the countdown, and it just means good games are coming your way. And you want to make sure everybody knows this is a co-streamable event. If you don't know what that means, it means it doesn't matter if you're partner, affiliate, whatever you want to be. It means you can take the URL above. That's the Twitch gaming URL. You can go into OBS. You can go into XSplit, open up a browser source, paste it there, and then add the co-streaming tag to your stream. And you can sit back and watch with your own channel and do everything we're doing right now with your own peeps.
Heck yes, and I know that the folks over at G4 TV mentioned that they are co-streaming, so shout out to you guys. What's good? But let's go ahead and kick things off, shall we? So throughout today's show, the ID at Xbox/Twitch Gaming Indie Game Showcase, as we mentioned, we will be airing new game trailers for the very first time. So new, in fact, that even we haven't seen the trailers yet. So normally during rehearsal, they show us the trailers. Not this time. It's going to be all surprises for everybody. So share your reactions in the chat with us because we're excited to hear what you guys have to say. And we hope that you are ready because let's go ahead and start off with some new trailers.
Right now.
Νέα τρέιλερ. Για να δούμε.
I never meant for any of this to happen. All this bloodshed. All this chaos. Brother against brother. I feel like I'm trapped on a path I can't change. We used to be mercenaries. Then they called us criminals. So we became rebels. And now, a revolution. We didn't start this war. But one way or another, we're gonna end it. I'll do whatever it takes to bring my people home. And no king, no friend,
Στρατιώτες, τοξότες, βασιλιάδες
will stop me.
Παιδιά, όσοι είστε μέσα, γράψτε τα σχόλια στο chat για το αν σας αρέσει, δεν σας αρέσει. Lost Eidolons.
I'm Emperor T-Pain.
Μάλιστα.
I'm going to teach you how to rule in Crusader Kings 3. This is a game of choices and building strong, healthy relationships. I'm going to rewrite history just by being fair and just, making peace with my neighbors, no matter their religion or culture, letting my kids marry for love, educating the masses, and lowering taxes. It's going to be a utopia. So first, let me see, I'll just, oh, okay. Well, that's new. Okay, minor inconvenience. We're going to keep moving forward and continue my dynasty's mission on peaceful...
Σαν στρατηγική μου φαίνεται τώρα αυτό, κατακτήσεις και τέτοια, δεν ξέρω. Πολιτική.
We'll be back. You know what? Second step. Just marry off all your kids. Doesn't even matter if he's a troll. Just aim for very powerful.
Πάντως αυτό που βάλα να κάνει το...
Nothing else matters. Third, find the shadiest
βιντεάκι, μάλλον το αυτός ξέρει τι παίζει.
And have them start murdering all your neighbors. That's gonna trigger a succession crisis when all of them die. Imprison all the rebel families, hold them hostage if you had to. We're gonna take care of this one rebellion real quick, and then right back to peace, promise. Fourth, we're gonna need mercenaries to replenish our army. That just means raising taxes temporarily. We need to protect our borders. Those neighbors are looking pretty sus. We can build that university after we take this one neighbor, and then we're good. Oh, shit. Take control of history on March 29th with Xbox GamePad.
Τα κρανάκια όλα τα λεφτά, έτσι. Οκ. Όπα, αυτό κάτι μου θυμίζει. Με την Αλεπού. Το έχω ξαναδεί αυτό πάλι σε τρέλερ, το είχα δει, δεν θυμάμαι. Γεια σου Αντώνη, χρόνια πολλά αγορίνα μου για τα γενέθλιά σου. Το ID at Xbox είναι παρουσίαση indie ανεξάρτητων, πώς το λένε, κόλλησα ρε φίλε, δεν θυμάμαι τη λέξη. Ανεξάρτητων δημιουργών, δεν είναι από μεγάλες εταιρείες. Είναι πιο μικρά παιχνίδια, τα λεγόμενα indie, αν έχεις ακούσει που λέμε indie, αυτά είναι. Independent. Και είναι νέα παιχνίδια που έρχονται.
Are you just stunned at how adorably cute Tunic is, or are you still chuckling that T-Pain raised taxes after he said he was going to keep taxes low in his utopia?
Έχουμε το μπλα μπλα το κλασικό.
See, all the above. When my homie said raise taxes temporarily for the Holy Booty Empire, and
every politician says the same thing.
Which makes
Είμαστε live YouTube, Twitch και Trovo. Όποιος θέλει, από ποιο κανάλι και να είναι.
It's been looking outstanding for years now, and the fact that it's just like so close, it's no more just watching trailers. We get to play it. That's
Αντώνη, τι κερνάς σήμερα ρε στα γενέθλιά σου?
Yeah, it's awesome that it's finally out. It's out today, and it's coming to Xbox Game Pass today as well, which is an incredible value. As we mentioned at the top of the show, we're going to be talking about Games Pass a lot, and I saw a bunch of people in chat talking about how they love that Game Pass introduces them to games they might not have otherwise got to play or maybe even heard about. And there's a bunch of those in the showcase today, so keep your eyes peeled. But I do want to give T-Pain a shout out for that gold controller. I'm like, where can I get one of those?
He had the full royal kit right there. And like you said about Tunic coming to Game Pass, true. And we're going to let you know, actually, when it's live for you to play, which is why you want to stay tuned. And
κάνουμε ένα ζέσταμα, παιδιά, όσοι μπήκατε στην παρέα τώρα, να δούμε το ID at Xbox και για την εκπομπή για μετά, στις 9 και 4. Με όλο το παρεάκι, με καινούργια πράγματα θα δείτε. Έτσι να σας ζεστάνουμε λίγο.
Absolutely. What did you think about the first trailer that we saw, Last Idolbox?
I thought it looked really good, and one of the things that I loved about it is that during one of those skirmishes, I saw the protagonist one-shot someone. Like, I was looking at the health bar, and I was waiting to see it kind of chop down one by one. He swung once, health evaporated.
Σήμερα βγήκε ανακοίνωση για το Sniper Elite 5. Έγραψαν για 26 Μαΐου αν θυμάμαι και ξεκίνησε η προπαραγγελία. Φυσικά θα είναι στο Game Pass. Φίλε, ναι, θα πει σε εποχή όντως. Αν ακολουθήσει τα χνάρια του 4 και βελτιωθεί κι άλλο, Και με τη βοήθεια του Game Pass θα εκτοξευτεί το παιχνίδι. Να είσαι έτοιμος,
today, and so we're going to go ahead and get our first guest on. You may know him as the director and writer of games that push the boundaries of interactive narratives. With Silent Hill Shattered Memories, he created a classic game that psychologically profiled its players, and in her story, he reinvented the detective genre for the YouTube generation. His new project, Immortality, is his most ambitious yet. But before we say hi to Sam Barlow, let's take a look at the trailer for Immortality.
Να πω στο σχολιασμό Ιορδάνης, στο control ο Δημήτρης, όπως πάντα.
Καλησπέρα και από μένα.
Να δούμε τι είναι το επόμενο αυτό.
Our gorgeous, la bellissima Marissa Marcel.
Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Έχω ξεκινήσει από το πρωί και έρασμα στη δουλειά και έρασμα στην προπόνηση και μετά ψισταριά του Σαββατοκύριακο. Στείλε τίποτα ρε, με courier. Αυτό είναι live acting, όπως ήταν το Telling Lies τώρα το τελευταίο που είχε βγει. Και εδώ πρέπει να λύσει μυστήριο. Interactive Movie Trilogy. Στο Game Pass. Και αυτό.
Sam, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for showing us your new trailer for Immortality. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm glad we just saw the trailer because I was totally thinking all about Tunic.
Δεν θα προλάβω, κατεβαίνω και Κρήτη την Παρασκευή, αλλά δεν προλαβαίνω ρε φίλε να έρθω εδώ.
I love that already in the chat. Root Boy Root says these graphics are so realistic, maybe not realizing the use of FMV. Do you find that maybe some of the newer generations of gamers don't really understand what FMV is because not a lot of games use it these days?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a novelty value there. Like when I first saw her story was the kind of game where I got into this thing, and that game came out of just being aware of how prevalent video was, right? Like when I grew up, if you wanted to watch a video, you had to go get a video cassette and stick it in some big heavy machine and play around with it. Now you're just watching video on your phone, sharing videos. Like it's you know, as accessible as text or anything else would be. So that kind of was the spark for me, was thinking like, what do you do with people's familiarity with video? How do you make that into something that's interactive and interesting? So it's kind of coming in.
I love how you mentioned that video is so ubiquitous. I think it's something a lot of us take for granted, just how much it's a part of our daily lives. And I think that's what's so fascinating about what you do as a storyteller and the way that you craft your games and continue to push the envelope with the way that you use video. What can fans of yours and newcomers alike expect to find in the storytelling of Immortality?
So the idea here is to take some of the stuff I've done before. So I've kind of been digging into this idea of almost a Metroidvania of video, right? It's like, how do you tell an interactive story which is as open as an open world game, which has as much kind of expressivity as those kind of games, but in a very different way.
Λοιπόν, μέχρι στιγμής έχουμε το Tunic, που το παρουσίασε αυτό με την αλεπουδίτσα, διαθέσιμο από σήμερα στο Game Pass. Να δούμε τώρα τι άλλο θα πούνε, τι άλλο θα προσθέσουν. Καλησπέρα Ηλία, καλησπέρα. Αντώνη, με την κοκκινομάδα θα έπαιζες άνετα ένα 8ωρο κόβο.
Old stories and bits and pieces, or watching, you know, old cursed
Δεν σχολιάζω, no comment.
That's kind of the vibe here. So we have Marissa Marcel, who is an actress who, in the late 60s, kind of starred in her first movie.
Το Stranders, Ηλία, ναι, είναι ωραίο. Αν και δεν είμαι φαν του snowboarding και όλα αυτά, αλλά ότι θα το δοκιμάσουμε για να το δούμε εννοείται. Αλλά φαίνεται όντως δυνατό παιχνιδάκι για τους λάτρεις του είδους.
And be digging through hours and hours of this archive of
pieces of film and footage from these lost movies that we've discovered and put together. And so you're kind of investigating, watching these movies, putting together the stories of the movies themselves, but also kind of digging into the behind the scenes and kind of figuring out what in fact happened to Marissa Marcel. So, you know, you have this really self-driven kind of expressive way of interacting with a story. You know, if you have something that you've noticed or you're particularly interested in, you can kind of dig into that area. So, you know, these games tend to be very fun to play on a couch with your partner, where, you know, you're both having ideas and theories about what's going on, and you can kind of discuss
blah, blah, blah,
so
blah.
With this one, it was really important to us to, from the start, think about the living room experience. Have this on Xbox. Have this be something that you can sit back and play together, and really dig into as well this cinematic.
Σας περιμένουμε όλους το βράδυ 9 και 4.
Movies and the kind of 20th century classic filmmaking. This is also a very deep dive into how movies are made, who makes them, you know, how do movies work. We really want players to
έχουμε να σας παρουσιάσουμε καινούργια πραγματάκια.
Think about how movies work. Think about what it is to watch a movie.
Έχουμε δωράκια.
Give them the tools to do that.
I mean, you pretty much summed up, I think, people's excitement about this game in a nutshell. It looks awesome. So I see that there's like 3 individual
ναι, Ηλία, ναι, όντως. Αλλά εντάξει, πρέπει είναι μάλλον μέσα στις συμφωνίες ότι πρέπει να παρουσιάσουν και τους δημιουργούς.
I think with my last game, I was referencing a lot of open world games. It was kind of how I saw it. You know, when you start up an open world game, you can go in any direction, north, south, east, west.
Έχουν τα showcase αυτό, δυστυχώς τα ID, τα Xbox το έχουν. Απ' τη μία, εντάξει, γνωρίζεις και τον κόσμο που είναι πίσω από αυτά τα παιχνίδια για να γίνουν πιο διάσημοι. Σκέψου ότι κάπως έτσι ξεκίνησε και το Hellblade, έτσι, από ένα ανεξάρτητο στούντιο.
Is done through this interface which recalls like a classic moviola machine, right? When movies were made on film, when you're editing them,
καλά κάνουν και τους δίνει το χρόνο τους, απλώς όντως είναι κουραστικό το μπλα μπλα.
Moving through the footage, splicing it together. And we've tried to kind of recreate that using modern technology. And when you're watching a scene, if you see something that interests you, and this is kind of magical, and I love it, you just pause the footage and click on that thing. So if you see a character and you see the face of a character you've not seen before, or a prop, so someone takes out a gun or a dagger and you're like, well, that's going places. Or maybe you're digging into the imagery in the movie. You're like, well, hey, I keep seeing pieces of fruit or a particular animal that clearly means something in this movie. You'll click on that, and then the code will, in real time, generate a match cut and cut to another piece of footage. So you're essentially assembling your own supercut of this movie, and using those visual elements, using characters, stories, plots, pieces, you know, props, as this way of exploring, as the kind of breadcrumb trail. So very quickly, your individual curiosity and what you're responding to is what kind of drives you through this, and it becomes a very visual experience.
That sounds so awesome.
Like, τα ελληνικά κανάλια, ναι, με ενημερώνουν από το control ότι πρέπει να πάμε στη διαφημίσεις.
Super interactive, and I know people are pumped to play, and I wish I could keep chatting with you about it, but we do have to unfortunately say goodbye. But I want you to tell people, where can they learn more about Immortality and when can they play?
They'll be able to play, we're saying currently summer of this year, so very soon. We're in the final stages. If they want to hear more, they can go to halfmermaid.co, check us out on Twitter at halfmermaid, and we'll, you know, as we get closer, start to peel back some of the layers. We've told people before that this is an investigative horror game, and
Immortality.
You know, the first question people ask me is like, in what way is this a horror? Like,
είναι τριλογία, λέει.
Where is the darkness? And maybe we'll start to peel back some of that as people kind of get closer to launch.
Well, we got to leave something for player discovery, though, right?
That's the key. It's always so hard. It's like, I don't want to tell you anything, right? I just want you to show up.
Good.
And
yeah,
be amazed.
Mum's the word, everybody. Well, Sam, thank you so much for your time today, and enjoy the rest of your day. And everyone, you can look forward to Immortality, hopefully later this summer.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere because we've got more trailers, more gameplay, more idea at Xbox
Έρχεται, Αντώνη, το Formula 1 2021 και έρχεται και λεπτάκι επιστρέφει το event, να δούμε τι άλλο θα μας πούνε. Μάλλον αλλάζουν τους σχολιαστές. Γι' αυτό ας ακούσουμε λίγο μουσικούλα εμείς. Ο Ανδρέας παίζει Guardians of the Galaxy. Ναι ρε φίλε, πολύ ωραίο παιχνίδι. Εγώ είμαι στο chapter 7, τώρα μπήκα. Καλά, ο Σαμ το τερμάτισε ήδη. Επέστρεψαν οι φίλοι μας.
Comments so far. Someone said, I hope for some Crusader Kings 3 news. Guess what? We had some footage earlier, so if you want to, you can watch the VOD and check that out. We have some stuff coming up later on.
We got it. Checkbox, and I do want to call out one
Ξεκίνησε
comment
η
that I
τριλογία
saw
του
from
Hitman,
Darth
αλλά μου
Mocha
φάνηκε
that
πολύ αργό
says,
παιχνίδι.
this has got to be
Ναι,
pre-recorded,
το
and
έχουμε
it's
παίξει το
not.
Hitman,
We
ναι.
are absolutely live on the
Θέλει,
internet
φίλε, είναι
right
stealth.
now. So we
Είναι
see your
θέλει,
comments, Darth
θέλει
Mocha,
χρόνο.
and challenge you that we are not, in fact, pre-recorded. But some of the trailers obviously are handcrafted.
Αλλά είναι ωραίο παιχνίδι η τριλογία, Αντώνη.
Speaking of game trailers, our next game trailer is a cyber noir point-and-click adventure blending stunning retro design with innovative mechanics. I mean, this
Point
sounds
and
great.
click
I'm
λέει το
already in.
επόμενο
Choose your
παιχνίδι.
clients, travel around the world and solve dangerous cases using real world.
Ναι, ο Σαμ, ναι, κοντεύει να τελειώσει και το New Game Plus.
At Chinatown Detective Agency.
Για να δούμε τι είναι αυτό τώρα.
I'm Amira Dama from Singapore.
Hi, my name is Leonie Ko, and I play Amira in Chinatown Detective Agency.
Wow, look at that!
Leonico, Leonico.
You here for the free Wi-Fi?
I'm looking for a book. I'm looking for The Histories by Herodotus.
From the get-go, I thought she was like femme fatale, hard-boiled, badass, cool.
What are you doing, Philip?
I'm done! I'm not going back!
Could be a waste of my time, but maybe not.
The game art is superb. The aesthetics really let me know.
Θυμίζει αρχές Monkey Island αυτό το παιχνίδι. Τα πρώτα.
Was like Pulp Fiction, Sin City. That was what I put into Amira.
I've never broken into the gardens at midnight before. Tiger Lily, is that a stage name or something?
I hope you guys really enjoy Chinatown Detective Agency. Badass female Singaporean private investigator. I don't think it's been done before. I'm so hyped.
Είσαι μια detective, προσπαθείς να λύσεις μυστήρια, point and click. Game Pass. Και αυτό.
I dig it.
Yes, I'm into it. Let's go.
Andrea, you feeling that?
Yeah, I love the mix of art styles. I know some people in the chat were like, where are their eyes? But you can obviously get a lot more detailed character-facing art in the text boxes. So I like that they're kind of mixing old and new there.
I agree with you. And to prove this live, not pre-recorded, JPie3 said these point-and-click games are really good if you give them a chance. I agree. Games like this, you got to just really sink your teeth in. I promise you'll like it. We have other games you might like too, because our next guest is the creator and
Δεν ξέρω για εσάς, αλλά εγώ με τα pixel art, ο Δημήτρης στο control έχει χαζέψει εντελώς. Με το pixel art δεν τρελαίνουμε πολύ τα παιχνίδια.
by Thunderful Games. So for those who are wondering what that kind of mashup even looks like, well, good news. We have a trailer.
Κινούν το ενδιαφέρον.
Product not yet rated.
Hi, I'm Liam Edwards, the director of Curse to Golf at Chuhai Labs. I'm the only one that made Curse to Golf.
Curse to Golf. Μάλιστα. Γιατί μας έλειπε ένα golf με καταραμένους.
Hit the green and take on 18 hellish holes in golf purgatory in your attempt to escape to the land of the living. Take your time to line up the perfect shot or go out in a blaze of glory. Just be careful as with each new hole comes new hazards, new dangers, and new friends. Luckily, you might have a few aces up your sleeve. These bizarre and world-bending cards add new dimensions and make your journey that much more rewarding. It is up to you to take on every hole, fight each.
Ναι ρε Αντώνη, δεν ξέρω να σου πω. Κάποια παιχνίδια είναι όντως φοβερά και κάποιοι λένε ότι τους αρέσουν πάρα πολύ. Εγώ ρε φίλε έχω περάσει από αυτή την εποχή, τη ζήσαμε όταν βγαίναν pixel art παιχνίδια. Τώρα δεν ξέρω, θέλω πιο πολλά πράγματα. Θα παίξω 2D platform, αλλά με ωραία γραφικά τύπου όρη ας πούμε. Θα τα παίξω και μου αρέσουν πάρα πολύ. Αλλά pixel art, όχι. Μπορεί να το δοκιμάσω για λίγο, αλλά μέχρι εκεί.
Very hard to describe. On the surface level, it's a game that kind of pokes fun at the jokey, hellish nature that some people maybe think about golf. Combined with one of my sort of favorite genres out there, which is like roguelites, in this fun, weird physics-based kind of dungeon explorer. We have 18 holes, and they're all laid out like dungeons, and they have full of hazards for you to overcome. And you have to basically golf your way around.
Σαν dungeon explorer και θα πρέπει να πετάς την μπάλα για να βγάλεις το dungeon.
Ace cards, and you're able to bend them to your will to try and get through every single hole. If you survive all 18, you survive the game.
Now some cool things right now is that people are saying things like love the mashup concept, and Rimney's saying after golf story, I love these blends. So I gotta wonder, what inspiration did you have to make this kind of game? You said you're in golf, you love these kind of hellish style games. Was there a particular moment you were playing something and you said, you know what this needs? It's more challenge.
Αυτό το golf, ναι, εντάξει, είναι λίγο πιο χαβαλετζίδικο.
It wasn't really started with golf, actually. It was thinking about roguelites. As a game designer, I think about genres a lot of the time, and that mashup is exactly right,
έχει καλή ιστορία, ίσως.
How could I mash up some
Πρέπει να είναι κάτι το πολύ wow για να μου κινήσει το ενδιαφέρον, Αντρέα.
And then that kind of naturally just led to golf, which is something, a game I played as a kid, actually, and had quite a bit of knowledge about. It's not really something I delve into now, but something I went through as a child and had to suffer through. So this is kind of almost like therapy to me, to be honest.
Δεν έχει βγει κάτι το φοβερό να πω ότι...
Guess what, new generation, you've got to suffer too and share.
Όμως 4 παιχνίδια δείξαν, τόση ώρα μιλούσαν.
Yeah, at this point though, you are actually dead, so I don't know how much suffering there is after death, to be honest.
I mean, if you're playing golf, it can't be that dead, right?
Αυτό μπορεί να αρέσει στις κόρες μου.
Says, now I like this question right here. Does it have bosses?
It does indeed, actually. You might have sneaked a peek there at one of the bosses. They're not bosses in the traditional sense, because they're actually kind of supportive friends.
Από τα indie που υπάρχουν στο GamePad, για πείτε μια τριάδα παιχνιδιών που προτείνατε να παίξει κάποιος σίγουρα.
Because before you died, or expired, as we say, you actually were a pro golfer. And the start of the game is you're about to win basically the largest golf tournament that and you're about to become the greatest golfer of all time, and as you swing that final shot, you're struck with lightning.
Γιατί τώρα μου βάζεις δύσκολα, Αντώνη, περίμενα να σκεφτώ.
So, your travels through purgatory, golf purgatory, is to basically prove that you are the greatest golfer of all time, and make it through the toughest 18 holes you possibly can. So, yes.
Hollow Knight.
Definitely about golf, but kind of,
αλλά πολύ δύσκολο.
A bit of a strange one.
No, I like that. It's
είναι μανίκι, είναι γύρω στις 30 ώρες.
We're all here for it right now. It's a very good way to go about it. And for games like this that are so tough, one of the things I worry about and wonder about, and I
νομίζω είναι ακόμα στο GamePad, δεν έχει βγει αυτό. Σαμπνότικα, survival κάτω από το νερό.
What makes it hazardous along the way and what benefits you?
Φοβερό.
It's funny you say that
Πολύ
because
ωραίο.
that's something I ask myself every single day as officially right now the world's best player.
Ένα διωράκι ήταν το What Remains of Edith Finch που το τερμάτισα.
Roguelites are supposed to be challenging and in Costa Golf if
ωραίο παιχνιδάκι. Το Artful Escape, ένα τρίωρο ήταν αυτό, 3-4 ώρες με μουσική. Έχει κάτι διαμαντάκια, τα έχει. Outer Wilds.
But if you do fail, then you return back to hole one, back to the beginning. There's going to be a lot of cards and a lot of nice little boons and power-ups for you to basically stall that demise and try and ascend as best as you can to the 18th.
Αλλά ξέρεις, δεν είναι ότι τα προτείνεις και θα αρέσει σε όλους. Πρέπει να τα δοκιμάσεις. Είναι μικρά συνήθως, είναι 3, 4, άντε 7 γίγα. Τα κατεβάζεις και τα δοκιμάζεις.
You know, with golf shots, you want to hit like a variety, and we thought like random generation was not necessarily the way to go to get the best out of the courses. So we do have over 80 hand-designed holes, and then the way the golf course actually works is it randomizes and kind of uses like a labyrinth system to determine the difficulty of your run. So even on your first run, the first time you jump into the hole one again might not be the first hole again, and you might have an entirely different hole, and then it's up to you to try and put everything together that you've learned on previous runs and tie it nicely together.
Well, perfect. We got the gist of it. We got some gameplay, everything you could possibly want. So where do we go to find out more information? How can we follow up on updates on this?
You can follow us on Twitter at Shuhai Labs. We also, with our wonderful publisher, Thunderful Games, they're posting a lot as well, so you can go to their website, thunderfulgames.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at LiamBME because I tweet about this
Αντώνη, στο cloud gaming είναι ότι πρέπει τα indie μικρά, ελαφριά, γρήγορα.
No, that's the perfect kind of narcissism. Thank you so much, Liam Edwards, for being here.
Thank you, everybody.
Looking really good. Peace, man. Take it easy.
Thank you.
That was fantastic. It looks really good. We know let's talk more games and you're listening, so we're going to do that for you. We're going to have another short break and we come back more ID Xbox.
Το καταλάβανε. Είπανε λιγότερο να μιλάνε και περισσότερα παιχνίδια. Και θα κάνουν και διάλειμμα πάλι. Πάλι κουραστήκανε. Πιο πολλά είναι τα διαλύματα από τα τρέιλερ. Τι είναι αυτή, ρε. Και εγώ στη live εκπομπή θα μιλάω 5 λεπτά και θα κάνω 10 λεπτά διάλειμμα, ρε. Κοίτα, το cloud gaming θα δώσει και όθηση, αλλά τους έχει δώσει ήδη, ρε φίλε, η Microsoft με αυτό που κάνει. Στηρίζει πάρα πολύ τους ανεξάρτητους δημιουργούς. Δηλαδή δεν θυμάμαι, δεν ξέρω αλλού που στηρίζεται τόσο πολύ το indie gaming εκτός από την πλατφόρμα της, του Xbox. Εγώ θα το ήθελα και σε στυλ να μην είναι μόνο cloud, δηλαδή
Welcome back, everybody, to the ID at Xbox Showcase. I'm Andrea Renee, joined by Okadrian, and we have got lots more games to come. Adrian, it's been going pretty good so far.
Δεν ξέρω αν ακούστηκε, γιατί ο Δημήτρης αποφάσισε να μου κλείσει το μικρόφωνο για κάποιο λόγο. Αλλά πιστεύω το cloud gaming όντως θα δώσει όθηση στους μικρούς.
Kyle C. Fritz, who spoke 1 minute ago, said, and I quote, "So far, the interviews have been really fun and perfect."
Θα ήθελα να μπορούσα να τα κατεβάσω και σε App Store ή Android Store πιο εύκολα τα παιχνίδια, για να μην χρειάζεται να είναι cloud gaming.
Thank you so much for your lovely comment. Keep them coming.
Yeah, shouts to Kyle. Good looking out, man.
Δεν ξέρω αν ξανακούστηκε, αν τα ακούσατε 2 φορές, δεν ξέρω πότε μου στο μικρόφωνο το control, γιατί έτσι απάσε.
Let's take a look at what's coming soon to Xbox.
Για να δούμε τι άλλο θα μας πούνε. Όπα, Mature 17 λέει αυτό. Έχει ξύλο. Σαμουράι. Αυτά μ' αρέσουνε. Έτσι τέτοια. Platform και σφαγή. Χωρίς κεφάλι. Και σαμουράι και όλας και τέτοια, ωραίο φαίνεται. Ωραία φίλε, σφαγή. Α, τώρα βγαίνει. Game Pass.
This is Xenozoic, a strange punk fantasy world
even stranger inhabitants.
In the chaotic society they live, Pseudo, a martial artist forsaken by his master, has chosen to live as a recluse. Your adventure starts
Είναι αυτό με γραφικά Borderlands.
Music, which guides him to the boy. An orphaned creature whose incredible powers have attracted the attention of Gemini, the dying mistress of the artifacts. Unable to leave the boy to face this threat alone, Pseudo decides to protect him, unaware that much larger forces are at play. Chased by the servants and mercenaries working for Gemini, you must use your fists and your mastery of various martial arts, which can be freely alternated between, based on the enemies you face and your preferences. You learn new techniques and improve your attacks as you progress and build your own fighting style. One law reigns in Xenozoic, the ritual.
Είναι λίγο γιόλο το παιχνιδάκι, αλλά...
to this dice game before a fight begins to determine the rules of combat. The winner applies the effect of an artifact onto the opponent, which can include fighting in a cloud of fog or having a chain limit their movements. Far from determining the winner or loser, these rule changes present an opportunity to be exploited if you win the ritual, or a challenge to be overcome if you lose.
Ταυτόχρονα στο ξύλο παίζεις και ένα επιτραπέζιο και καλά, το οποίο θα κριθεί η μάχη.
Seeking out its paths, secrets, and shortcuts. You'll meet strange characters, collect artifacts and items that can be used to craft weird objects that will aid your journey. And at night, Pseudo's dreams are so vivid that they take on a life of their own. You wake up with a distorted visage in a dream-like Xenozoic, where new areas become accessible and dark creatures emerge. Inspired by surrealism and punk fantasy stories, Clash, Artifacts of Chaos promises to be an indie action adventure like you have never seen or experienced before.
Νοέμβριο του 22 αυτό. Δεν έλεγε για Game Pass. Άντε πάλι αυτός.
You see, it all began in the year 1066, when the Pope wouldn't let me excommunicate my wife. They said there wasn't enough evidence of adultery, but we all know the real reason is because her brother was high and mighty King of France. Mr. Goody Two-Shoes Catholic over here. But then I remembered, I'm a freaking paragon of virtue. Look, I don't know why nobody's thought of this before, because it's friggin' brilliant. I'm a medieval genius. I got so much faith. I could just make my own religion where divorce is legal. Kaboom, problem solved. We'll call it, check me, bootyism. Of course, that's allowed. That's definitely allowed. We should encourage that.
Buddhism,
It's going to be a liberal.
Α, φτιάχνεις και δικιά σου θρησκεία σε αυτό το παιχνίδι.
That's going to benefit everybody. As the leader of this religion, I will have the final say in who I can divorce and or marry. Ah. Yeah, see? Probably should have seen that coming. Good for them. Get it on Xbox Game Pass. Coming March 29th.
Crusader Kings.
Buddhism. Let's go.
He's making all the right moves, making his own religion, allowing witchcraft, allowing adultery. He just knows how to play the game, it looks like.
I mean, I said on the break when we were watching these trailers, I was like, whatever they spent on T-Pain was worth it, because I'm loving these trailers. And I saw that in the chat, people are demanding a stream from T-Pain, so maybe we can get that once the game is finally out.
Hey, Bryce99210 says, I'm a supporter of Buddhism. You know, you and me both. You and me both. But it wasn't just that. There were two other games right there, too. Andrea, what you think? Got a favorite?
So I really love the art style of Clash, Artifacts of Chaos. It's got a very cel-shaded look, and it's got a cute little companion. Who doesn't like a good companion NPC?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. It looks really nice, and I like the first-person mode they show with the fisticuffs. Reminds me of a game called Breakdown on Xbox. Looks really good. I'm pumped for that. But there's more games, obviously, and our next game right here, ID at Xbox Showcase, is a perfect pick for anyone who loves, I don't know, escape rooms, which, you know, probably haven't been a big thing the past, let's say, 2.5 years or so. You can't quite get off the couch, right? But
επόμενο λέει έχει σχέση με escape room.
Shoutouts to them.
Μάλιστα.
They were nice enough to send along a full build, okay, of the game for us to demo live right here for the very first time. But before we get locked into a room together, let's take a look at Escape Academy.
What are you waiting for? A room full of memory gas is no place to relax.
Escape the room.
Impressive. I knew I saw potential in you.
Ah, there you are. Welcome to the Academy.
What's up? It's not the first time my art's been torn to shreds.
Greetings. Dishonesty has no place at the Academy.
Hey there!
Okay, με puzzle είναι, με γρίφους είναι.
My star student.
What the hell have we gotten ourselves into?
Γεια σου Αντώνη, ευχαριστούμε ρε φίλε. Άντε σε περιμένουμε το βράδυ.
All right, are you ready to do this? I feel like the entire internet is going to judge our escape performance, so hopefully we don't disappoint.
Andrea, we are two of the smartest people that I know, so I have no fear whatsoever.
Ah, thanks. I appreciate the vote of confidence. And I also love how the concept of this game is that it's supposed to make you better at escape rooms because it is, in fact, an academy. So maybe after this, we will be escape room masters.
Yeah, there was some context there too, but honestly, I just want to get into the game and I want to solve the puzzle because I feel like we're being judged and I will not be judged.
So for everybody watching, Okadrian is controlling the game and I'm just here to help him solve the puzzles, but there is a multiplayer component. But I'm going to be honest, for anybody who watches my streams over at What's Good Games, you guys know that I sometimes have trouble multitasking and I get incredible gamer face. And because I wanted to focus on the puzzle elements of this game, I was like, Adrian, how about you just control the game and I'll just watch?
I promise to say things every now and then, just probably not most of the time. So I'm relying on you to carry us through this conversation piece.
I am here for that. And I also want to give I Am 8-Bit a shout out. I saw you guys in the chat. Thanks for hanging out with us on stream today. And we are, already got this underway. So what have you found so far in the world that you think might help us? Should I get a pen and paper going?
Maybe. There's a bunch of sculptures that have yellow markings on them. Some of them have different things. Like that one has a yellow dot right there. This one over here teases a maze and has a circle in the outline down there. There's a paint splotch right there. There's a door that needs a key, it looks like, or some kind of thing for a nose, and we don't have it yet. So something's got to have a line somewhere.
Okay. So lots of yellow things.
Yes. Something goes in this table. It wants us to use an item that we don't have yet.
I think it's really interesting how this game really kind of blends some of the traditional puzzle elements you would see in a point-and-click adventure game, but also makes it more pressure-based because of the escape room nature of it. So I think people who are good at, old-school puzzle games, like, my friend Christine Steimer, will probably be really good at this. Maybe I'll just have to call her up and be like, hey, can you help me?
Yeah, if you're watching, feel free to, help us out and say whatever needs to be. Oh, look at this. It's a painting, but the painting is out of order. It has arrows on it, so I'm guessing it's up to us to put it in the right order and figure out what direction things go.
All right, this seems like it's pretty easy.
Αυτό το παιχνίδι,
I believe in you.
γρίφους, escape, δίνεις 6 χρόνο να λύσεις τους γρίφους. Ωραίο φαίνεται, ενδιαφέρον, εμένα μου άρεσε.
I like that. Yeah, go ahead, Adrian. Good luck to you, man. It looks like up, then right, then left. Is that right?
I see. Well, I guess I don't know what you're looking at.
So right here on the screen, the puzzle has, it's like someone took a painting and just chopped it up and put it out of order.
Oh, you're trying to line up the arrows, right?
Yeah, I want the painting to line up so the arrows go in order, starting from left to right. And I think the farmost right strip is the far left strip. So the first input would be up.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So in order to move the strips, you have to match the inputs?
Yeah. You gotta memorize that.
Interesting.
We'll come back to that.
Wait, what does that sign say?
Important.
How to
συμφωνώ,
draw
Άντρια, είναι ωραίο με puzzle, με γρίφους, φαίνεται ωραίο.
Bananas, cheese, wine. Wait, this is my grocery list.
Εγώ που πάω και σε κανονικά escape room, δηλαδή αυτό μου αρέσει.
So it's oh, look at that, an arrow. I wonder. This seems important.
I feel like we need to prioritize.
Δεν ξέρω τώρα αν έχει συνεργασία.
Always on my grocery list.
Caution, wet invisible ink. Oh, maybe we need a UV light or something. Oh, look at this. It's a door that has colors, which means the colors have to go in a certain order.
Interesting. And that mark, that yellow mark, was the mark that was on the ground.
Oh, you know what I bet it is?
Outside.
This right here goes by colors, right? So you can choose your color. This board right here has 4 items: banana, cheese, wine, and, well, wait. I'm guessing banana is painted blue, so the first input is blue, so we've got to find the cheese and wine to find the other order.
You know, I did not think that that's the direction you were going with that, and I'm not sure that's correct, but you know what? It's a lead, and you got to try all the leads in these games.
I'm not sure that's correct, but...
Hey, I wanted to call out. I see Level 1 Gamer in chat is saying, I've never been around for one of these events. Does this mean the announcements are over? No. We have more announcements, more interviews, more trailers coming. We just wanted to show you guys a little bit of gameplay of Escape Academy from I Am 8-Bit and Coin Crew Games, which is coming out later this year.
This says,
because it's Twitch. We got to do some gameplay. We don't want to have a showcase and have only trailers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Wine. Banana. There was one more thing that goes here, according to the painting. The cheese! Gotta find the cheese! Where do you find cheese?
You think it's in this room?
I feel like that's too easy. Oh, look at this! Arrow directions. I bet that's the puzzle. Wouldn't surprise me if the cheese was in there. We have to get through there to find out. Or the cheese could be in the garbo.
I don't see anything for... No, cheese is not in the trash.
That's not where you'd put it?
I mean, it depends what kind of cheese it is. Let's be real.
That's 100% true. That's facts. I gotta find cheese, Andrea.
You think it's in that locked closet? Or do you think it's outside?
Something's in there. I'm gonna go back outside because we haven't been out here in a minute. So, if I was cheese, where would I be?
Beastly Benno, that is the question. Okay. So we've got more. There is also a hint feature if we, want to use the hint for the sake of time.
I don't know. I feel like the internet would never let us live it down. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's probably true, but
we don't
have an infinite amount of time to solve any of this. And we're probably not going to solve it. Which is probably the best because we don't want to show you guys all the puzzles, right? Wait, what'd you find?
I like that. No, the fact that you know, we're not going to solve this, so.
I'm just giving us an out, Adrian, okay?
I respect it. Look, this arrow thing right here is bothering me, okay? It's got to be up. I got it. Up, down, right down. Up, down, right, down, left. I'm wrong?
I guess so.
Let's use the hand feature.
Do you know how to open your inventory?
Yeah, right here. Oh, the cheese. I already have it. I already have the cheese, Andrea.
There it is. Pain-stained cheese.
Θα κάτσουμε εδώ μέχρι τις 12 να λύσετε ένα γρίφο.
Cheese, rather.
Oh, look at this. It's a number series.
Oh, okay. I see what's happening here.
139. We're missing the weight. 139.
Δεν ξέρω πόση ώρα κρατάει, Δημήτρη.
I have to say, I'm very
όσο ώρα και να κρατάει, εκεί 9 παρά 20 θα κόψουμε το stream. Για να ετοιμαστούμε για την εκπομπή. Αν δεν έχει τελειώσει μέχρι τότε.
The suspense. Will Adrian keep playing the game and I'm going to have to host the rest of the showcase by myself? Who could say? Many thanks, though, to the team over at I Am 8-Bit for sending over the build for us to check out and for you guys to take a look at here on the stream today. If you guys want to get updates on Escape Academy, please follow at I Am 8-Bit on Twitter, and we look forward to solving those puzzles later on this year. You did well, Adrian. I'm very impressed.
I didn't do well enough.
It's okay. You can feel sorry about it later. But we do have a bit of good news, everybody. Tunic is now live on Xbox Game Pass, and Ash Said Hi is playing live on their channel, and you can check it out at twitch.tv/AshSaidHi. And you can find them in the Control Plus app under participants, or follow them, jump to their stream, check it out if you guys want to see some gameplay of Tunic. And don't forget, you can now download it today.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. And if you want to get an idea of what it's like to play the game and to see a streamer's reactions to it, we're going to actually take a peek in on Ash Said Hi. And the good news is right now, she can't hear us. She can't see us. This is our own moment to peek in.
Πρόλαβε και το κατέβασε αυτή και ξεκίνησε. Τώρα μπήκε στο Game Pass.
It really is. This is like, we knew it was gorgeous, right, from watching all the trailers and gameplay, but there's no way she's not any further than 5, 10, 15 minutes into the game. This is the first thing you see. Are you kidding me?
Παιδιά, αυτό το παιχνίδι παίρνει 9 στις βαθμολογίες, έτσι. Παίρνει πολύ ψηλές βαθμολογίες στο Tunic.
That's like me.
Ash has the gamer face. Love it.
If you guys want to check out more Tunic gameplay, head on over to twitch.tv/AshSaidHi.
Θα το δοκιμάσουμε, θα το κάνουμε και εμείς ένα stream να το δούμε.
I'm still at a loss of words right now because I've only got one thing in my mind, and it's the fact that Escape Academy has robbed me of my moral victory. But the good news is we're going to have a break right now and we'll have a moment to decompress, and the good news is we'll have more games right here at ID Xbox. So stay tuned. I'm gonna go play this right now.
Ωραία. Πάλι διάλειμμα θα κάνουνε. Ρε φίλε με τα διαλύματα.
Welcome back, everyone, to the ID at Xbox Showcase. Your boy Occasion chilling right here with Andrea, and we're bringing you all the good indie games that you've been looking forward to for, I don't know, forever?
Yeah, obviously forever. It's been so long. But I digress. Are you ready to hit the slopes for some snowboarding action? I know, it wasn't the best transition. Stick with me, everybody. Shredders arrives tomorrow on Game Pass, and ID at Xbox Showcase has the latest trailer. But first, a quick message from the devs behind Shredders. Take a look.
Yo, welcome to Foam Punch. We're super happy to launch the game. This is almost the whole team, not the whole team. So behind us is a bunch of boards, so we scanned them in that booth there, our photography booth, and we're super stoked that we can finally ride those boards. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Thank you for playing and have fun. Yeah!
Όχι, εμένα άνοιξα. Sorry, παιδιά.
Το Shredder σου ανέφερε πιο πάνω ο Ηλίας, νομίζω. Το control έχει πιει. Φαίνεται όντως καλό.
Doesn't it just make you want to catch some fresh powder?
Εφόσον μπαίνει και στο Game Pass, νομίζω μπαίνει 17. Αύριο νομίζω μπαίνει.
Because you never forget your first concussion, ironically, and I got mine from snowboarding. And this brings memories back. It's just flooding in.
So you're saying you've had multiple concussions?
Well, if I did, I don't remember them right. I do remember snowboarding is a blast. We've come a long way from the likes of Cool Borders and 1080 snowboarding. It looks fantastic.
Absolutely. I got to take a look at this back during the winter gathering, and now that we're almost into spring, going up to the slopes is probably not on my mind as much as going to the beach, but that's what's great about video games is that you can transport yourself to anywhere at any time, and it seems like the chat seems pretty hyped for this.
Oh yeah, they've been waiting for this. I think in the top of the show, people were saying shredders, 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 and shredders. It's here, and it looks really good.
Absolutely. But up next, Derek Bradley, the game director on
Καλησπέρα,
Talk,
Αντώνη.
is going to be talking to Okadrian. But before we meet him, let's take a look at the trailer.
Τι τρέιλερ έχει τώρα, δεν άκουσα.
We bathe in the blood of that rising sun and breathe in the power of the smoking gun. Down in the depths of the wounded ground, there at the gates of the golden crown, we bathe in the blood of that rising sun. And breathe in the power of the smoking of the powder's blow and laugh in the faces of the gods below.
Lindlock. Αυτό φαίνεται το πιο εντυπωσιακό μέχρι στιγμής που όσα έχουν δείξει. Μπαίνει και Game Pass, παιδιά, αυτό.
That was Flintlock. I'm Okadrian, and I'm joined by Derek Bradley, the game director of Flintlock. How you doing, homie? Welcome aboard.
I'm good. Yeah, thank you for having me.
You know, people in the chat are already very smart about this. I saw someone who said, hey, you know what? I loved Ashen. And that was their only comment, which means they know your history and they might have expectations. So in terms of how it correlates to this game, if you've played Ashen, are you going to have a familiarity with how this game is going to play?
Είχε κάνει το Ashen αυτός.
Ashen was really, it was our first game at A44, so it's a massive thing in the genetics of the company. Certainly all of that really hard-hitting combat, all of that kind of stuff, but this one is very much us taking that, expanding on it. You can kind of see the visual style in the trailer itself and like how far we've pushed that. But that's expanded into every other part of the game.
Δεν ξέρω αν το είχατε δει, ήταν με κάτι τύπους χωρίς πρόσωπα και τέτοια και έψαχνες διάφορα.
Like, the thing is that intrigues me, one of the things that intrigues me the most is the fact that the game is called Flintlock. You're holding a flintlock, but I feel like it can't be that on the nose, right? Like, can you give us a sneak peek or an idea of what that title means, if there's significance to the flintlock?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's actually quite an interesting thing. We took like a fantasy world which would have had dark magic and the undead and all of those kinds of things, and we took human society to a tech level where flintlock pistols and guns and all those kinds of things had just been invented. And so I suppose the whole proposition is like, how would this play out? Now, how would something like Lord of the Rings play out if people had just invented, you know, gunpowder and they were able to blow things up? And you could, you know, where a wizard would be all powerful because they could throw a fireball at you, well, now you could shoot a cannon back, you know? It's really interesting, and like there's a lot of really fun stuff we can do with that, yeah, in relation to those kind of dark and terrible magics that also exist within the world.
You're bringing about all the dreams people want. You know, I'm just picturing the moments of Lord of the Rings where he's like, I would cut off your head, dwarf with this, and then flintlock. And that's the easy conversation to have right there. So you're putting everything full front. One of the questions that's been perusing right now, the chat, one of the questions I see is,
Τώρα φυσικά αυτό ήταν μόνο το trailer, τώρα δεν ξέρουμε gameplay πώς είναι.
Yes, no. Derek?
You know, it's a deep question. It is a really deep question, and something that we don't really like to talk about, you know? I feel like he's just got a lot of attitude, you know? And so
Αντώνη, αυτό δείχνει ότι φαίνεται ότι θα είναι πολύ ωραίο παιχνίδι. Απλώς ξέρεις, πλέον έχουμε φοβηθεί, βλέπουμε τρέιλερ φοβερά. Ευτυχώς είναι στο Game Pass, δηλαδή, και δεν θα ξοδέψουμε λεφτά.
Might be a bit disrespectful to him. I'm not too sure, you know? We're sort of still trying to work it out with him. He's got a bit of an ego, you know, but we'll see if we can convince him to let you pet him, I suppose.
Καλώς τον Dakos Games and Fun. Καλώς τον, καινούριος, δεν σε θυμάμαι. Καλώς ήρθες.
And I love it so much.
I think like petting the dogs is so important, you know, it really is.
Dakos, δεν ξέρω τώρα πώς διαβάζετε, μην το πω και λάθος.
Dog-like features, is that a constant companion? Does it summon, or is it just with us the entire time?
Yeah, so that little guy's with you the whole time. He's essentially like your companion. He you know, where you bring all that like flintlock weaponry, you bring the guns and the bombs and all that kind of stuff that you could possibly do as a soldier. That little guy brings all the dark magic. So you'll sort of see right at the start of the trailer, he's got like these little bird claws, and he's got monkey paws actually on the front, and he's sort of covered in feathers, and he's got horns as well. But he's sort of like a fox-like creature overall. And yeah, as you go through the game, you kind of figure out who he is.
Καλώς τον Kurux. Καλώς τον καλεσμένο της εκπομπής μας στις 9 και 4.
I love the, looks like a boss at the very end that has the giant hole in his head that kind of glimmers and glows the entire time too. So what kind of
περιμένουμε, Δομήνικε, σε περιμένουμε.
Yeah, because it's a big jump up for us.
Ντάκος, καλά, το διάβασα, έλα ρε, με τη μία, ωραία. Καλησπέρα μπαμπάκα, λες, σου λέει ο Δημήτρης.
For us, you know, it's really just sympathetic to the medium, like what we're trying to do at the moment, and with us kind of stepping into sort of this like pre-industrial polyonic type tech level. We wanted to really portray that with a lot more of a realistic style, I suppose you could say. But also, you know, for our studio, it's just
είδα ότι έφτασε και το Steelbook, Δομήνικε.
And push as far as we can.
And you've had success in the past. You've done some great stuff. And the funny thing about a trailer, too, is you never know if the trailer is giving you a glimpse of what is or what is not possible. And I know the other day when we spoke in like rehearsal, I was like, hey, when I saw the Ashen trailer and I played the game, it properly represented it, right? Do you feel like this trailer properly represents what this game is going to end up like?
Yeah, I think that's something that we like sort of deeply believe in A44. Like all of the stuff that you see here is captured in engine, so we've essentially just used the spaces that we have in the game, we've used the characters we have in the game and posed them for the trailer, but it really is just, this is what it's going to look like, so yeah.
Κουτζι 13, καλησπέρα. Έχει ξεκινήσει από τις 7 Έχουν δείξει παιχνίδια. Το πρώτο που μας έκανε εντύπωση είναι αυτό που βλέπεις τώρα. Το Flintlock. Ανακοινώσαν επίσης το Tunic, το οποίο είναι ένα παιχνίδι που έχει πάρει πολύ ψηλές βαθμολογίες και το ότι το βάλανε σήμερα στο Game Pass και διάφορα άλλα μικρά indies. Και αυτό εδώ τώρα το Flintlock που μπαίνει, θα μπει και αυτό στο Game Pass μέσα στο 22 από τους δημιουργούς του Asen, αν είχες παίξει το Asen.
Us there. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for the information and thank you for bringing us this wonderful cinematic trailer. It looks fantastic.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
Hey, that looked really good, right? And everyone, I tried to get an answer, but that was some really, really good navigation by Derek, so respect to him. Up next,
πίσω γράφει Fable αυτός.
Τι
είναι αυτό? Hint. Στην οθόνη, παιδιά, πίσω έλεγε Fable.
Which is the studio behind the viral hit Wacky Wizards and High Fidelity phenomenon Rolling Thunder. Take it away, Andrea.
Θέλει να μας πει κάτι?
Thanks, Adrian, and welcome, Jansen and Mad. Welcome to the show, guys. How's it going?
Hello. Hey. Yeah, it's great. Real glad to be here. Yeah, we're excited.
So Splitting Point Studios has made quite a name for itself within the Roblox community for making all kinds of stuff. But the latest thing that people are talking about, of course, is Rolling Thunder. And this game that you guys created doesn't even look like it's inside Roblox. It's just bonkers. How long has it been in development?
Yeah, we've been working on it for 6 months now. And yeah, it's just crazy. Like, we honestly kind of just started it out as a hobby project, and then we just it's just gone so far, and the graphics are crazy cool for streaming on demand, and yeah, it's real fun.
Δεν ξέρω αν το είδατε εσείς στο Fable, εγώ το είδα πίσω στην τηλεόραση.
You've been making content and doing content creation for quite some time now. I would say very well known within the Roblox community. How have you guys really seen the journey, not only of what you have been doing as a studio, but really where the kind of UGC community has come? I mean, it feels like Roblox has just skyrocketed in the last couple of years.
It has, yeah. It's gone insane.
Εδώ, παιδιά, θα παρακολουθήσουμε κάνα 20 λεπτό ακόμα το stream τους. Και μετά θα ετοιμαστούμε για τις 9 και 4. Μπαίνουμε live όλη παρέα για τα νέα. Έχουμε πολλά νέα. Πολλά πράγματα, έχουμε δωράκια.
It's going to become a thing where that becomes a thing where it's it does look like Roblox now, just because of so many tools they're adding, and yeah, you can see.
Εδώ θα βγουν και συγγενείς στο chat.
Every day it's getting more and more, yeah. Modern, I guess.
Do you think that this is going to be the wave of the next generation of game developers? I mean, obviously tools like Unity and Unreal Engine are always going to be important.
Καμιά τσικουδιά βγάλουμε και κάναμε ζε.
Toolbox that Roblox is handing to young creators feels so approachable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the transition from player to developer on Roblox is so seamless and easy.
Α, ναι, Αντρέα, δεν το είχα δει, ρε φίλε. Τώρα το πρόσεξα και μου σκάσε έτσι, μπαμ.
It's absolutely going to happen. It's just going to be a natural thing. Everyone, you start going from playing Roblox to developing on Roblox.
So when was that period for you? And do you find yourself not wanting to go back and play because you're doing just too much work? Do you ever just go in and just mess around for funsies?
Τώρα μιλάνε για το Roblox. Κάναμε και ένα αφιέρωμα την Κυριακή παίζοντας μαθαίνοντας τον μπαμπά. Δεν ξέρω αν έχετε δει αυτό το καινούριο εγχείρημα, το οποίο δείχνουμε για γονείς πώς μπορούν να μάθουν και να προστατεύουν τα παιδιά τους από παιχνίδια στο διαδίκτυο. Ένα από αυτό ήταν το Roblox που το κάναμε την Κυριακή.
once you have that thought, it's a lot easier.
Το οποίο είχε αρκετή απήχηση σε γονείς. Δεχτήκαμε μηνύματα και tips για άλλα παιχνίδια. Θα δούμε πώς θα το οργανώσουμε όλο. Πάει πάρα πολύ καλά αυτό. Και πιστεύουμε ότι είναι ένα πράγμα που μπορεί να βοηθήσει ανθρώπους που δεν ξέρουν από το gaming και γενικά από την κονσόλα του Xbox να ξέρουν τι παίζουν τα παιδιά τους και να μπορούν να τα προστατεύσουν.
Shameless plug right here, Jandal, RBLX. You can just Google it and it should come up, hopefully.
We're all about the shameless plugs here at the Idea at Xbox Showcase, so it's not shameless. Plug away. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time to chat with me about Rolling Thunder, and like he said, you can go ahead and follow him at Jandal, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you so much. Cool, cheers. Thank you.
Well, we have got more show to come, but we have another quick break, so don't go anywhere. More surprise GamePad announcements are coming up next.
Ναι, ήμουνα σίγουρος ότι θα κάνουν διάλειμμα. Ήμουνα σίγουρος, 100%. Έχουν κάνει 10 διαλύματα, ρε φίλε, δηλαδή έλεος.
Welcome back to ID at Xbox Showcase. Okay, Adrian here, joined by Andrea Renee, and we have been putting on a clinic with some really good video games.
That is correct. I put on a clinic. I like that saying. I do see you in chat trying to defend your performance in Escape Academy, and don't worry, it's okay. We all believe that you would have solved the puzzle if you'd been given just 2 more minutes.
I kid you not. I've been dwelling on this for like 20 minutes. Like, it has not left my mind. I've been sitting here stewing in the background like, but if I had 2 more minutes and we're going live. Are we?
Κύριε παιδιά, ακόμα προσπαθούν να λύσουν το puzzle αυτή. Τι θα γίνει?
See, this is what happens when you let him play a game in the middle of the stream. I told him that it was risky. But what's not risky is the chunk of new trailers we've got for you guys. Let's take a look at what's coming to Xbox soon.
Για να δούμε. Καινούρια τρέιλερ λέει. Άνιμε. Το Τούνικα έχει και ελληνικά. Έλα ρε φίλε. Απίστευτο. Το μενού όλο με υπότιτλους. Πώς είναι. Για πες μας, Αντρέα. Explore the Void in co-op or solo, μάλιστα. Φτύστε λέει και φτιάξτε και το τρένο σας. Okay. Με τρένα παλεύουμε.
Today we will show you a bit of the new There Is No Right gameplay, along with a couple of unseen locations. Hope you'll enjoy what we prepared for you. Now, we are located at Frontier. Pilgrims from all Underworld gather there to take their path to Messiah, their savior. But Solar Core kill any heretic they can catch. We took a secret path through caves to reach the Pilgrims' camp. Along the hero's way, he will meet many people and creatures who need his support. Help or not is your choice, which will affect the hero's karma. Karma will be needed in future, so be mindful of your choices and decisions. First Pilgrims Camp. Here, you can gather some information about Messiah, Pilgrims, and the Lighthouse of Hope. Some people can give you subquests with great rewards, so don't miss them. Ah, here they are. Cannibals. They may look funny and stupid, but bloodlust made them very dangerous and aggressive.
John, ναι, Γιάννη, ελπίζω και εγώ να συνεχίσουν με τα ελληνικά, ρε φίλε. Πρέπει. Κάναν την αρχή με το μενού στην κονσόλα, πρέπει σιγά σιγά να το κάνουν και με τα παιχνίδια.
Here you can see Karma Door, which can be used as a shortcut. For using these doors, the hero pays with his karma. Cannibals have strange architecture. They build their houses on top of each other, and that brings many conflicts among them.
Πώς θα το έπαιζα το παιχνιδάκι.
A tough fight ahead. Let's battle.
Φαίνεται έτσι ωραίο. Αντρέα, το μενού είναι στα ελληνικά, στο τούνι. Εντάξει, κάτι είναι και αυτό. Κάτι είναι και αυτό. Ελπίζω να έχουν κάνει απλά σωστή μετάφραση. Ωρες πλατεριές. Βάφει τους τοίχους ο τύπος.
Pilgrims believe that to clean your soul, you should look into holy water and reject any evil within you. I think our hero has many secrets because his evil side is tough as hell. There is No Light is coming out this year.
There is No Light. Έρχεται φέτος, μάλιστα.
Man, the Twitch chat comments for There Is No Light were hilarious. The cannibals living on top of each other.
Λοιπόν, εμείς παιδιά εδώ θα κλείσουμε λίγο το restream από το ID Showcase για να ετοιμαστούμε για το live σε 9 και 4. Σας περιμένουμε στις 9 και 4, συντονιστείτε. Θα πούμε και για αυτά ότι βγήκαν τώρα οι τελευταίες ειδήσεις, για ό,τι έχει προκύψει τη βδομάδα που μας πέρασε. Έχουμε να σας κληρώσουμε και 2 δωράκια και τα λέμε σε 40 λεπτά περίπου. Θα αφήσουμε να τρέχει το stream, όποιος θέλει να συνεχίσει να βλέπει. Απλώς δεν θα σχολιάζω εγώ. Δεν χάνεται και τίποτα. Και τα λέμε σε 40 λεπτά στην εκπομπή.
Like I was making the There Is No Right sounds during the trailer.
Yeah, it looks like the cutscenes and some of the narrative dialogue scenes in the gameplay are going to be in that anime style, and then it looks like the gameplay itself, you know, is in the complementary art style. It's interesting. We don't see a lot of games doing that.
No, but we do see a lot of games, and we're going to see even more, including this next game, which I am extremely biased towards, right? We're going to meet the devs and stars behind a little game called WrestleQuest. Now, WrestleQuest is the only game that allows you to powerbomb, suplex, and taunt your way through a massive RPG world where wrestling, action figures, and toys collide. So before we, meet the team, let's watch, I've always wanted to say this, let's watch the world premiere trailer of WrestleQuest.
Introducing the next great legend of wrestling. From humble beginnings to the electrifying figure, taking the world by storm. Bravely embarking on an epic quest from parts unknown. The journeyman traveling the world to take on the very best. He's here and ready to make his mark on history, facing legendary challenges. The biggest name in town, the man who draws a crowd wherever he goes, the rising star that everyone wants to know. An unstoppable, insurmountable, high-flying behemoth in the ring. Unbelievable! He's bringing out moves we've never seen before. Wow! Can you believe it? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah! Grab your tights. It's time for WrestleQuest.
Ah, man, this is my favorite time of the day. I've been waiting. I'm going to try to do this as professionally as possible. Welcome the founder of MegaCast Studios. James is with us. We got the last outlaw, Double J. Jeff Jarrett is here. And, of course, my man, Mr. Five-Time himself, Booker T. Thank you all for joining me for this.
Thanks, Adrian. Hyped to be here.
Thank you. What's up?
Yeah, love to have you all here. I heard the Adrian what's up in the background, good looking out. Of course, first things first. Big shout outs to Queen Charmel. Well deserved. Hall of Fame. Yeah, you know what it is.
Yes, indeed. My queen taking her rightful place next to her king. So, yes, beautiful team.
Yes, sir. Happy to have you all here today. James, want to start off with you. Hey, you know what? Maybe you haven't held any championships that I know of, but with this game right here, I think you've got a championship on the way. Tell me what we're looking at right now. What is this?
Yeah, I want to add that I'm definitely starting out WrestleQuest here from a fan perspective. Like, this is a multi-year, 3-year project where our team is just so excited about. Although I've never wrestled, I have powerbombed my children to sleep, and I often wrestle my team members at the office. So we have insurance for it. It's all good, and it's major creative inspiration for us. But so WrestleQuest is the world's first wrestling RPG. It's very much inspired by nostalgia from the ground up. It's the art style, it's the IP, the storytelling. If I describe WrestleQuest really broadly, it's Toy Story with Lord of the Rings storytelling through the lens of a wrestling universe. So everything here is wrestling. There's no kayfabe. Wrestling's always on, and wrestling is life. So it's very much packed in every nook and cranny with just this very, very real love for wrestling that we've transformed with just a number of amazing legends that we've had a chance to work with, like Jeff and Booker.
Yeah, we got some live gameplay right here. And Booker, I'll start with you. I remember we spoke earlier, and you mentioned that you were a gamer. We were talking about how in video games, it's always the pageantry and the entrances, and can you brain buster off the top rope? But finally, we have a game that talks about the story element of wrestling. Can you tell me what that means to you?
Yeah, that's the part of wrestling that's near and dear to my heart. I always talk about the Shakespeare, the Romeo and Juliet, the Phantom of the Opera, the Encore, the Bravo. Being able to go out and tell a great story through professional wrestling has always been the pinnacle of the professional wrestler trying to get to that point. Through a game like this, the fans actually have a chance to actually feel what it's like to be inside of the game.
That's a big shout out to that. And Double J, of course, you know all about wrestling and storytelling and what it's like to reinvent. So can you talk to me about the process that you were looking forward to as well in this game?
You know, coming from a wrestling family, I'm a third-generation wrestling promoter. I've wrestled for over 35 years, and at the very core of it, we're all about an emotional connection through storytelling. And if you want to go back to the 80s with Macho Man or Andre or the 90s, all through the generations, it's all about a connecting emotionally. You can have the
greatest moveset in the world, which is very, very important. But at the end of the day, you've got to have the characters, you got to have the persona, and you have to tell the story. And James and his team at Mega Cat have blown me away since day one, because that's what they've sort of dialed into, is the art of the storytelling, and WrestleQuest is certainly going to do that.
I'm happy you brought that up too. And James, to kick it off to you, I want to say first off, thank you for including one of my favorite storytellers, my favorite wrestlers of all time, Jake the Snake Roberts. I remember when I was a kid, his beef with Macho Man and the whole earthquake sitting on Damien storylines. When I saw those as a kid, I legit thought they hated each other. I thought Earthquake killed Damien. I thought Jake was blind in one eye for WrestleMania 7. Like, I was involved in all that. So for you to include this kind of stuff in the game, that's big props.
Yeah, you know, man, it's been so much fun to work on, and the game very much is just layer after layer of like our dreams of what we wanted to bring to the games industry. Like, most of us were inspired by this era of gaming, by that era of wrestling. Yes. And you know, I'm in Pittsburgh. That's where our office is. We're a major sports town. And it could be blasphemous at times to say that we care more about wrestling than the Steelers here, but it's the truth at the office. You know, it's like it's something that we've just poured our hearts into, and I think you can see it as you start to work through the storytelling in the game. So it starts off with a young Randy Santos, who later becomes Muchacho Man. You know, his entire life is inspired by 80s wrestling. So he's sitting in a living room like many of us, about 3 to 5 feet away, because it's an old CRT. And he just glued in, and that eventually is what inspires him to follow in the footsteps of these heroes through indie promotions and trying and pushing, and all the character development of, you know, getting found, putting your reps in, tapping into the kind of tribalism and mentorship of like senior wrestlers pulling you under their wing, and working through the character development through trials and tribulations of making a name in a world that's full of other people, you know, competing at the highest level. So it definitely has a lot of playfulness on the aesthetics for nostalgia, but the storytelling, we think, is just packed full with something fairly representative of what we think fantasy and the intersection of like autobiographical wrestling storytelling is about.
You're looking out for that. And go ahead.
Sorry, Adrian, I do want to add one more thing. So you can probably tell that Muchacho Man is like heavily inspired by Macho Man, who's one of the flagships. All-time greatest, right? So he's kind of front and center into what inspires Muchacho to follow in these footsteps. And throughout this development, you'll just see a number of independent wrestlers and legendary wrestlers that take part in this universe as heroes that entire cities are dedicated to. So the way that we're actually working with the most legendary wrestlers is each one is a Statue of Liberty style of monument where wrestling towns are founded upon their legacy. Same thing for Booker and Shermel. You know, Jeff, of course, has an amazing town. Tells you all about the history of guitars and wrestling, and then third-generation promoter lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's very much like a immersive storytelling experience where when you're working through these angles, and I think this is really going to be fun for wrestling fans. Upon completing objectives and quests dedicated to these critical paths in these legendary cities, you have an opportunity to either unlock them as managers, unlock exclusive story cinematics, or unlock pieces of gear and equipment that kind of inform how your characters are built out and how that progression takes place. So I just wanted to glue that high-level concept together, because I think that's usually the first question wrestling fans ask when we have shown them the game privately.
No, I respect that, and it makes a lot of sense. And you mentioned to Double J, so I'll go to you first. Do you have a favorite wrestling town that you speak to in this game, or just in general?
You know what? Here's the thing that I was just sitting here thinking. I'm watching the chat come in. Adrian, this is all kind of new to me. This whole it's really cool. But the thing that has attracted me to the entire WrestleQuest, no matter what town it may be, is, and Booker probably can relate to this, whether it's an action figure or a video game or whatever it may be through the years, authenticity is, for me, it's at the very, very top of my list on getting engaged with it. And that's what WrestleQuest is. James just went over point after point after point of just how immersive the experience is. And so that is at the very top of the list for me, is no matter what town. And look, me and Booker both have podcasts, and you'll see a little buzz in there of Conrad Thompson, my partner. But whether it's a podcast or in-ring wrestling match, you have to connect emotionally, and it has to be authentic, or it doesn't resonate. And that's what WrestleQuest does. It really resonates with the audience.
And Book, you know, on that note, it's got to feel good, too, to know that long after everyone stops wrestling, you know, there's always the legacy that carries on in game. This, the ability to go back and recreate moments, to create your own storyline. So it's got to be impactful for you to see that, right?
Of course. I mean, you guys couldn't have hit the nail on the head better with someone like Savage. You know, Savage, Steamboat, WrestleMania 3. Not just WrestleMania 3 in that match, but the leading up to that match. You know, when Steamboat got the larynx crush. Yeah. You know, to be able to create your own stories and relive that story. I think for me, that's what I get out of this more than anything is, there again, the storytelling, which I think is the base of professional wrestling.
I 100% agree with that. Like I was saying, as a fan growing up, and James, I'm happy you're taking the story element into a game like this. Look, I love grappling. I love creating my own interest, my own character. But I fell in love with everything. I remember, again, WrestleMania 7, seeing Macho Man do the elbow drop like 5 times. Warrior gets up, speaks to the heavens, wins. I'm thinking, oh, my God, my heart's broken. And then he reunites with Sherry. Like, to me, I saw people in the audience crying. My mom was crying. I didn't even understand love.
Look at you, man.
I love wrestling, man. I didn't even understand love, and I was crying. I'm like, I'm emotional. I don't know why. So, James, how do you put that into a game like this? How do you capture all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, first I just want to jump in and say that 30% of our time working on WrestleQuest is crying, and the other 30% is just marking out, because it's like I can't, as I'm sitting on our group introduction to WrestleQuest, and we're so excited to premiere it, getting excited whenever I hear Booker and Jeff talking about the game we made. Like it's truly a dream come true for the studio, and it's just packed full of every little piece of what we love about wrestling. And the storytelling side, that's really what it's all about with RPGs. It's gripping the characters. There's over 10 playable characters for party building. There's a number of ancillary pickup characters that all have their own unique hooks and character agency, that if you would want to replay WrestleQuest over and over again, you could still find unique ways to unwrap this universe. But literally hundreds of quests and side quests that help demonstrate all these different pieces that we've picked up working with some of these legendary folks the last 3 years. You know, so I think the ground up, man, it's the podcasters, it's the stories that they tell, it's reimagining them through this toy and nostalgic lens. It's really just everything from the items and equipment and gear to the critical path storytelling that is just key to main gameplay.
I do have some bad news right now. I got the Sandman. Oh, I believe it. I do. And the problem is the Sandman's sweeping right now. I got the Oscar playing me off and telling me, shut up, Adrian, wrap it up. So I want to say right now, really quickly, each of you, where can we find you and find more information about you? We'll start with you, Booker, then Jeff, and then James.
Oh, man, find me on Twitter at BookerT5X. That's on Twitter and Instagram. BookerT5X. Now, can you dig that? Sucker!
Let go. Double J?
How do I follow that, Adrian? Shucky Duck. But mine's simple. At Real Jeff Jarrett. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. At Real Jeff Jarrett. My World drops every Tuesday at 6 a.m.
And James.
If you want to get into the ring and you want to get close with WrestleQuest, it's at Megacat Studios and at Skybound Games.
I appreciate it, gentlemen. This has been a dream come true to me. Thank you, James, for the wrestling experience. Booker T, thank you for everything that you do. And Double J, you can slam the acoustic guitar on my head whenever you want to, bro. So thank all of you for being here.
I got one specially for you, Adrian. I promise.
Good look at that.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
This was an amazing experience, everyone. As you can tell, I'm geeked right now. I love professional wrestling. But I've got to shut up because this is not my show and it's not all about wrestling. It's about Idea Xbox Showcase, which is why Andrew Renee is going to connect with the lead game designer behind the upcoming title, Floppy Night. So before the devs join, though, we have a trailer. So let's take a look at that.